Welcome back to the Filmmaker's Time Chamber. I'm your host, actor, writer, director, Alexander Allione Jr. Thank you guys so much for coming back. This is episode 7. Today we shall be reviewing the movie Past Lives, done by the production company A24. So as per usual, we're going to be diving right in. So if you haven't seen this, spoilers ahead, go watch the movie, come back, and we shall discuss. So, Past Lives. Wow. What a film. A24 lately has been hitting it out the park. Most notably, we had Everything Everywhere All at Once and The Whale, which just dominated the award ceremonies all throughout the seasons for the Oscars, the SAG Awards, everything. So A24 has been hitting it out the park and came here with another one, high expectations, and did not disappoint. It did subvert my expectations. Up until this point, A24 has been strange with their storytelling and, almost odd and weird with their choices. And this is, in my opinion, no way, shape, or form weird or odd. It is a beautiful, romantic, heartbreaking story revolving around two kids that were together growing up, and obviously, even their parents thought they were destined for each other. They were in love. They spent every day, they were best friends together. And the girl ended up immigrating with her family to, to New York, or not to New York, but yeah, to New York and to America, I should say. And obviously, they were separated as kids, and that was a big hit to them both. And we fast forward 12 years, and they reconnect again over the internet and start essentially like almost dating through Zoom, since they live in different countries. And they begin this beautiful relationship where now they're both looking forward to seeing each other. We see them, you know, like basically, going out of their way just, to get home earlier, missing meals. And it is a beautiful thing to see. And, the girl, she has a realization that they won't be able to see each other for at least a year, and that she is, officially been committing herself to this relationship that's been, developing. And, you know, they both can't supply what they both need physically and be there physically for each other. And she finds it overwhelming and decides to back out and say, I need some time. Let's talk in a year and whatnot. Um, and that was the downfall of the entire movie. That was the downfall of the entire movie, and it breaks my heart, because had they just kept talking through that 1 year, who knows what would have happened? We already know. We already know. Um, you know, so what happens in the movie is she meets this other guy named Arthur, and they get married. And they don't, she doesn't speak with her childhood romance for another 12 years. He ends up meeting someone also. They end up dating and not talking for another 12 years. And so he ends up breaking with his girlfriend in Korea, and looks her up again and comes out to see her. Now she's been married, and she's still married, and he comes out and he's looking for something, and he almost finds it. He's looking for almost, and this whole thing is spoke about very meta, about this whole situation by Arthur, the third party. The white guy describes how he can't believe he's in the middle of this and he's interrupting destiny, and if this was a story, he would be the villain. And it's a very meta commentary that's absolutely hits home, and it feels right, because just the chemistry alone, when these two are together, they don't even have to be talking for it to be so palpable and so just filled with like that. Like, you feel their butterflies. Like, whenever they shared screen time together, it felt so magical and beautiful. And what a romance from blossomed from a friendship, from this whole thing. And it's just heartbreaking, because the movie ends with her saying to him, this is the guy I'm going to be with. I'm sorry things didn't work out. And, he's like, well, imagine if things were different. We could have had children. And at the very end, she lets him go, and she ends up breaking down, crying. And her current boyfriend walks her up, consoling her. And that's how the movie ends. And it's basically heartbreaking because this guy himself knows that he got in the way of this relationship. And yeah, that's the way things played out, but it's not the way things should have played out. And it's a metaphor and a lesson for life, because we all have it, we all have these visions in our head about how we want things to develop over time, and how we want our lives to be. And it's doesn't always happen that way, and we only have so much control over certain things. And yeah, this movie just really, really broke my heart in that way, because like, you find yourself the entire time, you don't know what's going to happen. You're rooting for this story, this love story, and then they both find someone else, and you think, okay, well, maybe they'll be with them other people temporarily and come back again, meet in the future, and be with each other forever again. And no, it just doesn't happen. And once again, what makes it so heartbreaking is their pure chemistry, and how much it's just evident that they're meant to be together. And so, tension so thick and palpable, you can cut it with a knife. And the movie even opens up with this beautiful shot of the three of them, and her and her romantic, partner from a child, are just so engrossed in the conversation. And then the current, boyfriend Arthur, the white guy, is just there as a third party. And we hear this narration of people observing them. And it's just like, what do you think those people are? And it's just like, look, this guy's not even part of the conversation. And it hits so deep. And then we come full circle at the end of the movie for that scene. And at a certain point, they even cut him out. They literally crop him out of the scene. And then it's just them two talking. And then they start talking, of course, in Korean. And it's just so quick-witted, and then it's just like they never miss a beat, and it shows just how much they're meant to be together. They're almost always at the point of tears, because of how much they make each other feel, how much they remind each other of what love is. And what a heartbreak, what a heartbreak. um let's 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 see. So um yeah, uh the one thing I forgot to mention so far is the cinematography. It was gorgeous. It was very gritty. A lot of the grainy, I should say, not gritty, but grainy. And it, felt like, the movie, part of the movie is, filmed in 2012, when Skype was, still a thing, and, FaceTime was still just very early stages. And yeah, and then obviously it jumps again 12 years, and it still had that grainy vibe. And so there was a lot of these quiet moments where there was no dialogue, and it's just, silence says a lot. There's one of my favorite theories is the French porch test. And it says that the person you're supposed to end up with is, this theory, it comes, I first found it from How I Met Your Mother. If that's not where it originated from, then I don't know where it originated from. But it's a theory that you're supposed to end up with this person, at old age, and you're too old to do anything else. You're too old to go, go for bike rides. You're too old to have romantic relations. You're just, all you could do is just be there for each other on the front porch, and talk about everything and nothing, and enjoy each other's silence. And throughout this movie, it just was evident how much that they were perfect front porch partners for each other, where they could just, look away and look back and smile, and a smile breaks open. And like I said, you could just feel the butterflies. Like, you could feel how much tension there was between them, and you just want that story to happen so badly, and it doesn't. And it broke my heart. It really did. So, overall, I give this movie a 4.4 out of 5 stars, just because of the ending alone. Really just tore me up. But yeah, this movie, it's about possibility. It had the possibility of them having kids together, them having grandkids together, traveling the world together, and just creating all these memories and different timelines and branches of what could have been. So I find I find that this movie was beautifully compelling, and the only reason I don't give it a 5 out of 5 is because it was very reminiscent of La La Land, of just this possibility, and it took the hope right from under me, and it's very reminiscent to life. Once again, not everything happens the way you want it to in life, and so this teaches you to be appreciative and be grateful and just be present when everything's happening, because it may not be there in 2 years. So this is a very heavy hitting movie. I apologize, it's not as long as my usual reviews, but it's a simple movie. It doesn't have to be complex to get the message across. And did that message come across? I'm still here feeling all these emotions, and and feeling it, and still applying it to my own life, learning from this, from their mistakes. Like I said, I think the biggest mistake in this entire movie was her taking a break, for that 1 year. If they didn't take that break, they would have been together forever. And so, and yeah, the end of the movie, she was broken. And I think she realized that. What if she had just, stayed with him through that 1 year, been one more year of Zoom calls and whatnot. And she was broken at the end of the movie, and so was I. So was I. So 4 out of 5 stars, just because of the ending. Everything else was, it was beautiful to watch unravel as they told the story. So highly recommend it. Past Lives A24 film, guys. Thank you so much again for being a part. You guys have a wonderful week. Thank you.